What is the orange thing?
I've always been attracted to orange. I grew up in Colorado, so the Broncos orange has always been around me. So the favorite Ninja Turtle at the time was Michelangelo with the orange, and then really no other fighters or gyms were using orange, so I wanted to make sure I did my own thing.
That is your own thing?
Orange, yes sir.
Orange is, I mean, it's like...
I absolutely love orange. When I see some orange at a store, or a crowd of people, I see an orange shirt, my eye just goes boom, right.
So if there's a fruit bowl and there's an orange right next to a banana.
Grab the orange. Grab the orange.
DJ, what is it like being around this guy?
Oh, it's intense, man. I love it. You know, life's full of energy. You know, you can't be calm around him because he's got enough energy for both of us, you know?
Yeah, no, he's a madman. We worked out today, and he's in the middle of, like, training. He just gets excited and starts hitting his pads together.
Yes. I love it.
I don't ever have to do road work because of this guy, you know? I mean, we hit mitts for so long and so hard that I'm in too good a shape already, you know?
That's interesting. Like, all the footwork drills and everything, I never really thought of that. Like, you probably don't have to do road work.
It'd be too much. I do too much training as it is. If I started doing road work, I think I'd overtrain myself.
That's fascinating, right? You have to kind of regulate that, huh? Like, there's a standard model that, like, a lot of fighters follow, and road work is a big part of that. But you think with all the stuff that you do, if you did that as well, it might be too much?
It'd be too many hours put into the day. I'm just too tired by the time I get home, or I'd have to, I mean, I could do it on the out of camp, you know, just to keep my mind right and kind of get some zen going. But during camp, it's too much. I train too much to be able to have to run as well.
It's funny because everybody's got a different sort of way of doing it. Like Jeremy Stevens was on the podcast recently, and one of the things that he was saying is that he really ramped up his running to the point where what he was saying is that having like this long endurance base really helps him in fights because he knows that he is always going to recover. He can always push further and harder.
To me, he seems like a kind of fighter that does need to build on the cardio anyways. You know, I feel like each person's body is going to react differently to training. And I'm someone that has endless cardio, it feels like, when I'm fighting and training. So I need to stay a little bit more fast twitch. And I'm always putting size on instead of losing it. And I feel like Stevens has been trying to drop weight and get smaller, and it helps with his weight cut, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think it helps with his weight cut, but I think with him, it's also like a mental thing too. He wants to break guys. Like, he's such an aggressive guy. Like, that's a big part of like his training is just being able to like have those extra gallons in the gas tank.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's what's kind of hard. It's hard for me to run because of my mind so crazy though too. Like I'm all over the place. I'd rather hit mitts and be aggressive. I'm too aggressive of a person, I guess.
Well, we were talking before the podcast about our friend Cam Haynes who just ran 200 miles, and we were like, that shit is not good for you.
No way, no way. It's not good. Your body's not supposed to do that.
Might be good for his brain though, because he's so fucking crazy. Like, he needs to know that he can do something like that. He ran for 78 hours.
That's why I want to hunt with him.
Yeah,
because I just know it's like my dad. When I grew up hunting, we'll go hike 100 miles in a week to go out the backcountry and have a backpack and sleep out in the middle of the woods. I just feel like that's how Cameron Haynes would do it. You know, just as hard as possible, just to do it.
Yeah, my friend Adam Greentree from Australia flew over to America last week, went to Montana, and then hiked some crazy amount of miles into the mountains. Camped out, went in deeper and deeper because he kept encountering wolves and grizzly bears. Camped out there, shot an elk, and for the last 4 days has been packing out this elk by himself.
Wow.
4 days. So if you've never shot an elk or you've ever seen an elk before, folks, an elk could weigh, you know, somewhere around 800 pounds, which is probably around 400 pounds of meat that he's packing out. So 4 days of 100 pounds on his back.
Well, you're hiking, you can't carry it all out. You got to quarter it out. So not only say you hike 5 miles with someone on your back, you got to go back and get the rest of the elk to hike that 5 miles again. So you're hiking the same trail, you know, 2, 3, 4 times, depending on how big the elk is, you know, when you quarter it out. Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure he said he hiked 12 hours. Wow. So that could easily be, you know, who knows how many miles.
At high altitude, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, that's right. Another piece of the puzzle.
So he's got 100 pounds on his back for 10 hours, 12 hours a day for 4 days in a row.
Yeah.
That's ninja.
That's a workout.
I feel like there's nothing better than that. It's so primal. Hunting with a bow out in the middle of nowhere, especially, I mean, by yourself. That's crazy.
Well, he also, you could get him on Instagram, Adam Greentree Bowhunter on Instagram. He documented it all. You know, with the Instagram stories. So he was there. There he is. And a dude met him up there, a friend of his, hiked through the night to come and meet him up there and help him, I think, on the 3rd or 4th day. But he's got all these videos of him up there in the mountains.
Oh, that's an awesome picture.
Wow.
Yeah, it's it's just so cool because, I mean, he's just out there surviving. Look at this. We're looking right now for folks at home listening. We're looking at this tent that's covered in snow. The ground's covered in snow. And this is where he's been living for the past week. I mean, that is the high country. Because when you're on public land, most countries don't, or most countries don't have the same sort of public land setup that we have in the United States, where you can just go hike into the mountains and camp out in these national forests. And so he took advantage of all that, and he's up there.
Oh, where's he from?
Savage. Australia.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Yeah, all you have to do is come to Montana. You buy a tag. I think a tag for an elk is $1,000, and he's up there with a pistol because there's bears up there. So his kill site, a bear came in on his kill site when he came back. Yeah, there was a grizzly there, and there's a lot of grizzlies in Montana.
Mendes was just up in Alaska and got an awesome moose, and his story is pretty cool too. He got a real big moose, and then over the night in camp, a grizzly bear came in and tried to take his moose off and took a big chunk out of its neck. And,
oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so his whole story of what he's got going up there is pretty cool. He went on an awesome hunting trip.
Oh, wow, look at that thing. Wow. Good Lord.
Yeah.
So we're looking at Chad Mendes. It says a 63-inch do-it-yourself Alaska moose hunt is now live on his YouTube channel. 63 inches is the width of the horns, which is just insane. Oh, wow. That is an enormous animal. So if an elk is 800 pounds, that's probably like 1,500, 1,600 pounds. Yeah. That's an enormous animal.
Yeah, and he's doing guided hunts, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
He guides people.
That's awesome. That's his passion.
Yeah, that's what he wants to transition to after he's done fighting.
He should. I mean, that's where his passion's at, and he's obviously extremely good at it, so no reason not to. That's cool.
Well, here's a question. He got popped for some supplement thing, like one of the, and a lot of people are getting popped for tainted supplements. If you buy things in the store, there's a lot of supplements that you get like at any nutrition store that have all these like, if they're not steroids, they're peptides. They're all these things that sort of make your body produce more hormones that are illegal by USADA. And he got caught for that stuff, apparently.
Is that what he got caught for?
Yeah. But they proved that it was a supplement.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I haven't really asked him too much about it.
It's a bummer.
Yeah.
That's good. At this level, you have to be mindful of what you're taking into the body. So especially with the new guidelines. So it's just part of following the rules. You can't go in the cage and eye poke somebody and be like, oh, I didn't know. Now there's so much going on with the supplements now, you have to make sure you put in the research and the investigation and put the right stuff in your body.